Alright, here we go. I just went to camp and I'm ready to do things. So we're gonna follow Deadeye's Den and let's get going.
What was the other option? Was that just another side quest?
That is the quest for getting your car fixed. Which if you go there, they're just gonna be like if you do the quest, it's gonna be like, yeah, we should go find Deadeye. It's just gonna lead you to another quest.
So it's basically just a waste of time.
Yeah.
That's
fair.
it's
kind of like saying, hey, this quest needs another quest to. I mean, nothing out of the ordinary.
Hey, these are the footprints that you pointed out earlier. Crazy.
Yeah, but I need all 4 people there to realize that it exists.
Whoa.
Yeah. I don't know. I mean, I guess I understand. They don't want you to complete a quest or continue it without all 4 people there because then you'll severely miss out on things. That's making me go to my map.
Oh, weird. That and design-wise, it ensures that you do see it to be like, whoa, this thing is fucking huge. It's like dinosaur level. Fuck. That's about all I got.
That's all I got, guys. All right. So now I get to wander around these woods. Oh.
What are they doing here?
Okay. So now you get a little backstory as to what you're actually being attacked by. So I suppose there was a chance that you never saw them up until this point. Either way, it's like giving you a mandatory, like, hey, look at this. These guys
are out to kill you because
rip out their
reasons.
Exploding hearts.
Is that actually what it said?
Yeah, it says something about something. Rip out their exploding hearts.
That's fantastic.
Now that I have all 4 people here, I'm totally gonna crush them.
Watch out! I'm going all out.
They drop down.
Oh, did they drop the what are they called? The dog things? Wolfish, coyote
I'm not
things?
really sure about that one. Or that was just like pure coincidence and bad luck on my part.
That's fair. It'd be a little strange because you've already encountered them in the wild, so unless they're like...
I mean, the one argument here is that since they're in a fight, I feel like that they should choose to attack everything.
Yeah, right? If they don't belong to the stormtroopers, I feel like...
And that's something out of the ordinary. Actually, there have been other fights on some Final Fantasies where you were fighting like other humans and monsters, and the monsters would attack whoever.
I can't recall, but I feel like you are right.
I think it happened in 6 at one point, like some of the older games or whatever. These guys are normally a lot harder than this. They don't just normally let me beat up on them, but that's fine. I guess I'll just keep
He's
doing this.
holding a flag. I mean, he can't do much else.
They kick you. They kick you and you go flying back. And it hurts a lot, actually. But that guy did not take kicking.
He was just like...
School. I don't know.
It's like, I never asked for this job. I wanted the axe. They gave me the flag instead. Also, I just want to put this out there that I have yet to see you pull out anyone's exploding hearts.
I think that we rip out theirs, or they rip out their own exploding hearts. Maybe that's what it was.
God damn, overkill much?
Boom. Did I get him? I think I got him, guys.
I think you got him.
Yeah. Alright. This poor guy, he's just like...
He's like, there's so much happening, I don't know what to do.
Just running around. That's all I ever wanted to do. Okay, you're dead now. Alright, good. We're done with this fight. Okay, so before, there's a lot more like... 100 C. Okay, so you get experience boosts for doing things. Like, the less damage you take, the more parries you complete, you'll get experience boosts. So I just got like 126% extra experience.
That's pretty cool. I like that.
So, like, you'll notice, like, when I was in a fight, that all these rocks I could teleport to and jump on. And that was not something that was there before.
Yeah, you're definitely right.
Yeah, it makes things a lot easier. Whoa, screen. Okay, here we go.
So now are you just going to, like, a bunch of different sites and...
Yeah.
Kind of tracking the behemoth?
Basically... I don't really...
Check this out. Nice.
I don't think it's required to go to all of them in the other game I played. I didn't have to go to all of them. In fact, I just like kind of forgot about 2 and I found Deadeye anyway.
Yeah. I mean, if you know where he is, you could probably just meander over to him.
That's what they call a clue.
Shit, he broke some trees.
And killed and made trees bleed.
Oh, is that what that was? I can't see red too well.
Oh, yeah, there's blood on the ground.
I was like, that looks like wet, but there's also trees, and I don't see a carcass, so... it's mud. It's probably mud, right?
Yeah.
It's just...
Let me hit him first.
What?
Follow up. Why do I have to wait? Because I said so. Let's go.
Fuck.
Certain
What the
interactions
hell
with
just
allies at the onset of battle will increase the frequency of cross chains. So he's
What?
basically powwowing with you, being like, "Hey, buddy, let's team up some more."
I have never... That was cool.
Well, yeah, they wouldn't have any reason to show that before because you didn't have the cross chains.
Yep.
Huh. That is kind of cool. It makes me wonder if you have any control over that or if that's totally random too. And either way, I don't think I would complain too much because in the end, it would just mean that you should pay more attention to whoever it was that ended up being buddy-buddy with you.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, like, it's a point case example right now, and I wanted to move back over to him because I know that he has a higher cross-chain thing. He may not actually be doing anything about it, but apparently he does. Ah! No!
That was really quick. It may have
died.
been because... Oh, yeah, that's kind of what I was
Over this
thinking.
way. Kill these guys.
You know, I think the most interesting thing about all these mechanics that they've included for the cross chains, I find it incredibly interesting because it basically is a mechanical representation of your character bonding with other characters. And so for the characters, it's purely an emotional thing because it's like, hey, yeah, we should work together more, or like, hey, like they're getting to know each other more, so they understand how to work with each other better. But then for the player, mechanically speaking, we get to actually see it and use it.
It is a tangible benefit to the partnership that they have with each other, and yeah, that's right. I like that a lot.
That's really interesting. That's not something that you see in any or many games. I can't think of any game that I've really seen that being done well.
No, come here. Take a cool
So that's cool. I'm actually impressed. Not that I was expecting to like think that this game was stupid, although after Final Fantasy 13, I guess there were no standards for me to assume, but
It was a disappointment and a bastardization of what we all knew as great games.
yeah.
Man, that's the second time I've like really just straight out attacked that game.
Yeah, and I mean, the one good thing it had going for it was that it was goddamn beautiful, but game design-wise, that is a great lesson in everything that you should
What
never do.
not to do. Yep.
I mean, I guess the combat wasn't the worst. I thought the combat was actually kind of interesting, even though it kind of got boring. But everything else about it, the level design, the content design, the writing, the environment design, all of that stuff I thought was garbage.
The fact that it was like streamlined into one direction and railroaded.
It was linear for the first like 60% of the game, and by the time it stopped being linear, I stopped caring about the game.
Yeah, I mean that's kind of a problem. There is a time when to consider when you should add certain elements of the game, and agency I feel is something that should happen at a relatively early point in the game, because
Yeah.
I mean too many times I've just seen people be like I'm just gonna listen to these people talk this whole time. There's nothing else I can do about it.
Well, yeah. If you don't have any agency in a game, what is the point of playing it?
Might as well watch a movie.
Might as well watch a movie where you don't have to push buttons to advance it.
Oh no! I can just hop right over that fence.
Nice! Dynamic animations. Sweet Dickens. I don't know. I was going to say penis. And then no one would understand it, so then I changed and stuttered instead.
And then you just stuck with it anyway.
Words. They're not my thing.
I mean, the audience might as well understand that is just something me and you say a lot anyway.
did this.
What, Sweet Dickens?
Sweet Dickens.
Oh, yeah. We're certainly not the ones that coined that phrase,
Okay.
but
I think after you discover 3 of the things, that happens.
then you can... Oh, okay, so that's basically like, oh shit, he's over here because birds are flying.
Yep. which is actually very smart too. I don't know if you ever saw Born Identity.
You mean with the sniper moment?
Yeah, really
man.
cool, right?
Yeah.
Because like if birds find something dangerous, they will not flock around that. They'll give a perimeter around it.
Right.
So the fact that it moved and you saw a flock of birds means that something very large moved in a certain direction that freaked the birds out.
Or something deemed dangerous at the very least. I was expecting you to compare it to Jurassic Park, and I was going to be like, yeah, because it's a behemoth. Of course he's going to scare everything away from it.
Jurassic
But
Park.
Born Identity works too. That's cool.
Park. Whoever watched that.
Were there birds in Jurassic Park?
The dinosaurs are technically birds.
The pterodactyl. Pterodactyl, as I learned that I was mispronouncing in.
You didn't know that?
No, I knew it. I guess I just have.
Isn't the pterodactyl Jeez, now I can't say it. Isn't the pterodactyl technically incorrect? Like only a little bit, but I don't.
You mean in terms of pronunciation?
Oh no, you know what it was? They realized that it actually has bird wings. That's it. That was the difference. It was thought up until that point to have leathery bat wings, but they have bird wings.
Well, yeah, because they had no idea. There wasn't enough evidence to support the idea that many of the dinosaurs had anything other than leathery skin.
Yeah.
And then they were like, actually, there's a little bit of evidence, a very tiny little bit of evidence to be like, maybe they had feathers or like weird early iterations of fur. And world.
They assumed that if the feathers are not just like straight up feathers, they're more like a down, like a really soft, like weird kind of. It was a transitional.
Yeah, which makes perfect sense because. What kind of it'd
like
be
what
weird.
Purpose would they have to have like leathery?
Yeah, there'd be no purpose other than like I don't know, maybe enduring the beating of like rolling around and taking a harsh beating from the sun. But even then, fur would make more sense to deal with the sun. So yeah, no, evolutionarily speaking,
feathers.
It only makes sense.
Feathers only make sense because of the way their arms are shaped. So it really just kind of depends on the dinosaur, because there's actually a larger gap in between the Triceratops and the T-Rex than there is from the T-Rex to us.
Oh.
That's how long that those motherfuckers roamed the earth. So
That's
that was
crazy.
like creepy, right? You just saw those trees fall over and you're like, what did that?
Yeah, that's actually really cool. Okay, so getting back into the topic of game design and not paleontology, is that the right word? I'm not totally sure. But getting back into the realm of game design, we're actually seeing a lot of anticipation build up, which is smart. I mean, it's only one quest, right? But like, there's a lot of events occurring that make this moment seem very significant. Obviously,
you know what? And it should, because the Behemoth is actually, for anybody who's played enough Final Fantasies, you know that the Behemoth is like a typical thing that you fight in the final dungeons of places. So to like literally for the very first monster they ever mentioned to be a Behemoth, it better seem like a big deal, because otherwise,
we're starting the game or the demo at least with this.
Yeah, like where else would you go from there? So, I'm glad that they make it a big deal, and they're also saying straight up, yeah, just because you start off in one of the easiest places doesn't mean that it's not going to have a terrifying monster in it.
Yeah. You know, in a strange way, actually, I feel like they did a really good job integrating the monsters into the natural environment that they've created. Final Fantasy XIII tried this very, very hard. And you didn't get to see it until you got like halfway through the game, where exploration suddenly became a thing. But the problem with it was that there were monsters just everywhere. It looked like a total ecosystem constrained to this tiny little sphere, and it didn't make sense. There were way too many monsters for too little of a space. In this, it seems a lot... It's not perfect either. But it seems like the monsters kind of fit into the environment a little bit better. We see a lot of these cattle-like monsters just kind of like roaming around, being peaceful, because they're not carnivorous. They're not going to go out and eat other monsters. And then we see these guys kind of sneaking around and jumping out at random moments when the moment seems optimal for them. And then we see things like the Behemoth, where it's like the Behemoth is the total like...
He is the apex.
Yeah. and he either A, doesn't belong, or B, there's only one of him. There cannot be multiple in this area without it being sustainable.
And that's why they made such a big deal of making him be the one mark you're going for. It's not like you jumped into this game and they said, oh man, we better go hunt a behemoth.
Yeah.
I mean, actually, they did technically say that. Well, they said it jokingly. They're like, oh, I guess if we hunt a behemoth, which says straight up, yeah, that they do exist in areas. But they're like, yeah, we better hunt a behemoth. And they look up and they're like, oh my god, there's actually a behemoth. And he has a name. Which also foreshadows that later in the game there will probably be behemoths just readily fightable. Which, should be the way it is. I just don't know how they're going to fit them in areas, because this has a very specific...
Yeah, I feel like it'll be very, very easy for them to fall out of that that strong environmental design, but they have
Hopefully
the potential of keeping it up.
I mean, if they keep it up, hats off, seriously.
Yeah, no, it's very, very difficult, and that's why, of all things that I complain about in Final Fantasy 13, that was one of the ones that I don't feel is worth complaining about. There are much bigger issues with that game, and the fact that they were able to pull it off as well as they did it in at least this demo is impressive enough to me, because damn, that's a challenge for an action RPG game or JRPG game, all the same really.
I mean, it's really a challenge in any game that exploration is not the main function. Like, if we're playing Uncharted, I'd be like, well, duh, it better.
Yeah. And even in Skyrim, the design of that game kind of lends to that environmental design a little bit better.
You know what? I just actually want to pause real quick. I had no idea where I was going. I went into that one corner area, found an item, turned around, and I did not know which path I was supposed to go down anywhere. And then all of a sudden I found a blue speck on the ground. And I said, look at that item. I bet you that means I haven't been there yet.
Yeah, oh yeah.
Look at that. Good job. I mean, that may seem like a fundamental thing that you should probably do, but...
I mean, when you're playing the game as a player, you're not thinking about that in terms of level design. You're just like, yeah, this is probably somewhere that I haven't been, but this is also an item, so sweet.
Right?
But level design-wise, it's smart. It shows you that that's how you lead your players without making them think about it.
Absolutely. They didn't need to give me an objective point, and on top of that, it also meant that I didn't have to wander around for an hour.
Right?
But we can talk about that next time, because right now we're going to see the next awesome scene once I climb into this hole.
Oh, yes.
Going down the hole next time in the archives.
Going down the archives.
Going down the behemoth hole, as it were.
Oh, no.
Yep.